Now, listen, you guys, it seems like Advo BBL has decided to revert back to factory settings where she uses Nicki Minaj as her sole source of promo. We're going to talk about the flawless video that has been circulating of Advo BBL singing along to the song. Now, we're also going to be discussing about Safaree Samuels inserting himself in this entire mess. At this point, I don't even know, man. Now, we're also going to be discussing about this entire Halle Bailey and DDG situation. Now, if there is a situation that is stressing me out, it is specifically this one. Meanwhile, it seems like the Transformer is getting clowned, by a lot of guys. They feel like, well, the move that she made with Stefon Diggs is the lamest ever. And these are some of the things that we are going to be talking about in this video. Hello, tea lovers, and welcome to the tea plug. I trust you guys are doing well, and I trust you are doing great. Personally, I am doing great, you guys. I am doing extremely amazing. And without further ado, let us dive straight into today's tea. So, first of all, let us talk about Advocate BBL. It seems like she has realized that this entire Stefon Diggs rollout is not giving exactly what she thought it would give, and it's not even strong enough hype to base your album rollout on that. It seems like people are over the antics, and it seems like she might have caught on to that. And you know, when it comes to these female rappers, once everything else fails, you know exactly what they start doing. They look for a way to attach their names to Nicki Minaj in the hopes that they can, resurrect a beef, or if that fails, they start showing fake love. And we have been seeing such behavior over the years with a lot of female rappers. So please forgive me when I see this video that is circulating right now. The first thing that is coming to my mind is, well, she knows exactly what she is doing. I am talking about the video of her singing along to Flawless. You guys do know that, well, that is a Beyonce song. But the one that's actually more popular is the one that features Nicki Minaj. It was a power moment for, a lot of women out there. They felt like, well, the two women coming together is an amazing thing. So, of course, when I saw that, I was like, oh my God, is this what we are now doing in 2025? And it seems like some babs are falling for the hype. They are out there on Twitter going back and forth, arguing, oh my God, it is a Nicki Minaj and Beyonce song, with some people saying, well, in fact, the original doesn't have Nicki Minaj, so it really doesn't matter, and stuff like that. And at this point, I'm just like, you guys do not learn. This obviously was done intentionally so that her name can go back to being compared with Nicki Minaj, and if possible, maybe Nicki might consider resurrecting that beef that they had in the past. And some people will come here saying that, well, it's just a song. And I'm like, of all the songs out there in the world, she couldn't find any other Beyonce song that doesn't have Nicki Minaj on it. And the one with Nicki Minaj is the one that she decided to play. She knows exactly what she's doing. And unfortunately, some babs are giving her the attention that she is looking for. Now, still speaking about the same rollout, another person who decided to jump on the bandwagon is none other than Safaree Samuels. Now, with this man at this point, I don't know if he has some issues mentally or whatever that is going on in his life, because in one breath he will come out here trying to act all mature, only for him to come back again, starting to be messy and petty. And I'm like, sir, are you done with your divorce with Erica Mena? Like, are you done? I mean, just a couple of days ago, I saw him doing something for the kids. Like, why can't you just focus on that? Anyway, this is the tweet that he decided to share. He said, when that new Cardi song dropping, ish sounds fire. And again, some people would try to come out here and act oblivious and say that, well, what is wrong with him showing love to Cardi B? What is wrong with him appreciating the song that the Transformer put out? First of all, the song is not even that fire for him to be gigging on Twitter unprovoked like this. It's not even that nice to begin with. So there's that. That's number one. Number two, he knows exactly what he is doing. He knows that people are going to start saying that, well, even Safaree, your ex, is out there supporting Advo BBL. And at this point, I'm just like, Safaree, can somebody get him another reality show to do? How is his YouTube doing? Because I swear at some point I did see him starting some YouTube channel. So I don't know why he's now bandwagoning on this rollout, and I can see clearly what is happening. They are trying to reconnect Nicki Minaj again to the girl so that she can start her rollout with something that will give her buzz. And it seems like maybe her team knows that not even a divorce or shaking your behind on a board for a multi versatile alleged cheater is enough to create buzz for you to drop your album. They know at this point the only last hope that they have is Nicki Minaj. And Safaree, I wouldn't be surprised if he's in on it. And I wouldn't be surprised if he were to be paid to do this because I mean, I'm sure even $1,000 is enough for Safaree to go out here and tweet that. That's just how much desperate I feel like this man is in as far as clout is concerned. And at the same time, he also does love the attention when he realizes that people are kind of moving on. I think he just, moves through his exes and realizes that, well, of all the people that I've ever dated, even the woman I was married to doesn't have enough hype for me to be re-remembered again. So what's the next best thing? Let me remind people that I'm Nicki Minaj's ex and I'm supporting Nicki Minaj's op so that people can start giving me attention again. At this point, it's lame. Anyway, let us move on to the next thing that we are going to be talking about. We are going to talk about this thing that has been stressing me out. I have been avoiding to talk about it. I am talking about the Halle Bailey and the DDG situation. This is one of those topics that you are like, okay, I just don't know what to say about the situation because, in as much as it is painful and difficult to watch, it's something that you might have predicted in the past to say this is how everything is going to end. I mean, I remember when they first got together, I kind of saw this coming. And I remember on this channel specifically saying that, well, this union is gonna get tricky. And some people were like, oh my God, DDG is such a stand-up guy, he's such a good guy, and all of these things. And I just knew that these guys were unequally yoked. Okay, I'm not saying one is better than the other, but they are from different worlds. And to a certain extent, that does play a part. Okay, and by different worlds, I don't even mean just their upbringing, I mean even their career paths. It's different. DDG comes from the school of trending, of wanting clout, of going viral. That's how he thrives. Whether it's negative or positive publicity, it's beneficial to him because there are not really those strict corporates involved in his career. But when you look at Halle Bailey, she is from the school of proper PR, artist development, this and that. That's the school that she's coming from, literally from the school of Beyonce. That's where she's coming from. So to a certain extent, there are certain things that will affect her career in as far as these viral moments and stuff like that. And exactly this is what we are seeing playing out. And this entire situation honestly just gets me to a point where I get very emotional because it's one of those things where, in real life, if you've got a friend and you're like, well, this is how everything is going to end, and they don't listen, and then you see it playing out. On one end, you're like, well, but I told you this was going to happen. But at the end of the day, you're still going to get hurt because you see exactly behind the shenanigans and everything that is going on. Now, Halle right now is under fire on the internet and her image is getting tarnished left, right, and center. I will first of all say that in this entire situation, I may be a little bit biased when it comes to the situation because I've got a soft spot for Halle. And I, it's sad. People are now calling her the liar. People are calling her, mentally unstable and stuff like that. But sometimes you can become mentally unstable if you're dealing with somebody who's very good at gaslighting. And now the entire internet doesn't care about everything that was going on before she was feeling like she wants to off herself and stuff like that. Nobody cares about that anymore because they are now focused on the text messages that have been released. And it's quite sad to watch everything going down. This is an unpopular opinion. I don't know if she was lying about the DV situation. She could have been telling the truth, but they could have both been toxic towards each other, equally toxic. Maybe they were both putting hands on each other. I don't know exactly how the situation was like, but when you look at those text messages from an objective perspective, you can tell that they do look reactive. They look like, they were coming from a point of reaction from what the other party was doing. But unfortunately, the courts are not going to be there to analyze that entire situation, or what did he do for you to feel this way. They don't care about that. Now you have the likes of academics calling her ugly on the internet, comparing her to the women that DDG was allegedly sleeping with. You have exposed yourself to, it's not necessary. Sometimes it's not necessary. And this is exactly what we were talking about when that relationship was starting out, when she was out there. This man was begging her for a baby. And even Ruby Rose back then came out and said that, well, DDG actually wanted a baby with her. But Ruby Rose, being the street smart person that she is, of course, she was like, no, 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 because she could see right through the BS. She could see that, well, whilst we might have a spark, whilst it might be fun, bringing a baby into the equation will definitely change the dynamic of the relationship. And unfortunately, Halle got to find out, the rough way. And I'm not really sure if her ties to Beyonce and Jay-Z are going to help her in the circumstance, because at the moment, Rock Nation is under fire and people are looking at them like they're these villains. And the whole internet is crying, saying that, well, Halle got away with lying. They're saying that she lied. I'm not saying that she lied, but they are now saying that, well, Halle got away with lying because of her ties with Jay-Z. And what's that only going to do is Jay-Z and Beyonce are going to distance themselves from the situation, and that's going to leave her out there hanging to dry. And I hate this for her. I don't like this for her, but I'm not surprised that this is happening. I'm not. We all saw this coming. And the lady that, DDG was allegedly messing with when she just had a baby, Halle Bailey just had a baby, she's now speaking up. And I don't know, this lady was also accused by Ruby Rose of messing with Ruby's ex as well. So I don't know how to feel about this entire, and the way that DDG is going around this entire situation does get to show you the kind of person that he also is. There is no compassion whatsoever. India, whatever that lady is out there shaking her behind on DDG. Meanwhile, Halle is getting dragged all over the internet. No compassion whatsoever. This is what happens when people rush into having kids whilst they're young, because sometimes you're not mature enough to regulate your emotions and to exercise basic human compassion. And this is exactly what we are seeing going down. And it seems like DDG's mother is also behind her son. Yo, this entire thing is stressing me out. I don't know, you guys. Like, it's breaking my heart, because in as much as I also do want to hold Halle accountable for her own actions, I also do know that those text messages were not coming from nowhere. If you've ever seen anyone who's been in a relationship with someone who's good at gaslighting, you know exactly what I'm talking about. They will leave you looking like a mad woman. Meanwhile, they're out there showing the world how crazy you are. But behind the scenes, they are doing things that are triggering. Even the AirTag situation, okay? Now it's being presented like, well, she was out there trying to track DDG because, well, she's just obsessed with him. But we don't know how far true that is. That could have been for the sake of a baby, which is not weird. But at this point, of course, the whole internet is looking at her crazy. And all this could have been avoided if she didn't have a baby with this man. But then again, children are a blessing from God. The baby is already here, so there is no reverse to that. But you see, it could have been different. The breakup would have been easier. There wouldn't be... It's sad, man. But anyway, let me insert what this attorney had to say about this entire situation, as well as the Lala girl, what she had to say also about, the situation. It said that this is going down, honestly.
Halle saw that I was there, saw that I was on this trip with him. And of course, she had every right to jump to conclusions at that point, because I would have done the same thing. I'm a girl. I know how it is. I've been in relationships. I'ma feel away if someone I'm dealing with, even if we're on and off, like if that's the person I'm dealing with and they go somewhere and whatever. And girls, you know, when you're in love and you're going through emotions, you feel things, and that's really all that was. Like, but anyways, at the time of this trip that we were all on as a friend group, Halle did reach out to me and we had a private conversation. Again, I'm not going to disclose details because that's between me and her, and out of respect for what's going on and for their privacy, it's not my place to disclose that information. But Halle saw me and her had our own conversation, and at the time, like when she reached out to me, I completely understood why, because I've been in those shoes. Like, I've dated someone and had assumptions of who they're around and whatever the case. And it doesn't help that this is something people already just thought, you know? Like, I know I don't have to explain myself, but my character is being tested. And I feel like, you know, like it's genuinely possible to actually have a platonic friendship with a guy. Like, it's possible. But like I said, I've been on the other end where that was hard for me to believe. And I get it. Like, she is not wrong and was not wrong for feeling how she felt and for making assumptions, because I have been in that position, like 100%. But again, like I said, me and her at this time, which was so long ago, have already had conversations and have been cool since then. So me and her had our own conversation. And at the time, like when she reached out to me, I completely understood why, because I've been.
This isn't even my usual type of content, but it does fall into the realm of family law and a lot of the issues that I see. And one of the main things that drives me nuts is when I see issues between celebrity couples and everyone in the comments section of social media is loud and so wrong. Today, we're going to talk about DDG and Halle Bailey and the receipts that just dropped in their custody battle over their child. I hate to even talk about custody battles. This is why I no longer litigate and go to court over family law issues, because again, what you think the law may or may not do, depending on your own experiences and your own circumstances, is not how the law works. The law has to be consistent across the board, and they have to apply the same principles to every case. And at the top of that list of principles that they're applying is the best interest of the child standard, and that is going to be completely discretionary. But even in the court's ability to use their discretion, they have to apply certain basic principles across the board, right? If you're going to limit one parent's time with the child or take a child away from both parents, you have to consider certain things. And there are certain red flags and buzzwords that are always going to move the needle. One is if you are violent, especially domestically. Another is if you're addicted to alcohol problem. Another one is if you haven't seen the child in a long time. But another one that people don't seem to be understanding in this particular circumstance is if you can show the other parent has mental health issues. I have had several cases dealing with one party requesting a domestic violence protection order. I have defended against claims of domestic violence, and I have pursued claims of domestic violence. Everything that I'm saying here about DDG and Halle Bailey, completely alleged. I obviously wasn't there. I'm not saying one party is right or one party is wrong. I am simply trying to say to y'all that I see in the comments saying, oh, well, that's what he gets. I mean, she's just crashing out. I mean, he just pissed her off. He cheated on her. I understand all of that. But when you're dealing with the best interest of a child, you're not going to assess fault to one person or the other unless that fault is affecting the child, AKA cheating is honestly irrelevant. Hurtful, emotionally damaging, of course, not right in any way. But if it doesn't affect the kid, then we're not talking about it. The receipts that DDG just dropped are showing text messages. And in the message, the one most notable is at the very bottom here. I want to unalive because of you. That is what he's allegedly saying that Halle texted him when she was going off on a rant after finding out that he was unfaithful to her and that he wasn't giving her the level of communication or attention that she was requesting. Now, one thing I keep seeing in the comments is she's probably had postpartum depression. Maybe she did, maybe she didn't. Again, we don't know these people personally. But even in having postpartum depression, that is a form of, I don't want to say, that does affect your mental health. Does it not? As a woman who has 2 children myself, it definitely affected my mental health, and I had to lean on my partner for an amount of time to help me with that and navigate it while we were raising our kids. But if that is the case, and she really did say that she wants to unalive herself, then the courts have to take that into consideration. It seems that everyone is just blowing off DDG's claims of her having mental health issues. Maybe she does, maybe she doesn't, maybe she did in the past and she no longer does, but evidence has to show that. Everything has to be proven. It can't just simply be his claims have no merit because one celebrity is favored over the other. Now, I'm a big Halle Bailey sisters fan. I've seen them live in concert. Oh, chef's kiss, they're phenomenal. I'm also a fan of DDG. I just learned about streaming. I'm an auntie now, so I'm just now getting into that. But my point is that what they're trying to get to from a legal basis is Halle requested a restraining order against him for whatever reason. I haven't seen those documents. Now, and him trying to combat that restraining order, and some say stand up for himself. I don't know if that's what it is, but rebunk any claims of him being a bad father. He is fighting back by saying, and she has domestic violence issues, or she has mental health issues. By saying that she wanted to off herself, that is going to be taken very seriously in the court of law. By saying that he is domestically violent towards her, that is going to be taken very seriously in the court of law. Both people have standing claims here, guys. There's not just one side that's stronger over the other based off popularity or based off of, oh, he has a better image than she has. You have to consider all of these things when you're talking about custody, family court, and a child's best interest.
Well, there you heard that, you guys. Now, the last thing that we're going to be talking about, speaking about people who enter into relationships that everyone wants them against, the Transformer. It's again about the Transformer and, of course, her new boyfriend, Stefon Diggs. It seems like people are out there. Some people are blaming her for the matching hairstyles between Wavy and, of course, Stefon. And some people are taking a side. By some people that are taking a side, I do mean academics, of course, because you guys know that academics would rather blame everyone else but not Offset, not the Transformer, because, well, he is their marriage counselor. So yeah, the likes of Wax, the likes of people in the industry are out there basically saying that, well, Advo for BBL is the reason why Stefon was able to get away with that. The entire hairstyle is causing a lot of commotion. And if a lot of people really do look at her like someone who's trying to clown using the children, I don't know how that is going to work out in a favor, in as far as industry connections are concerned, you know. But anyway, let me insert what academics had to say and, of course, WAC. But I don't think that after that I'm going to be coming back. So thank you very much, you guys, for watching. And until my next one, see you.
To go put those style braids in the boy's head, that's on Cardi. You know what I'm saying? Like, if this dude act, you had these braids in your hair last week, right? Boom. You out doing what you doing, nigga. You in Jamaica. Cardi getting the son's hair braided in Atlanta and elect to put them in it and put a picture up. Then the media finds a picture of you from last week and put your picture on the side of the one she put up. Now, Cardi knew what she was doing because Offset knows that this child's hair is usually braided in this fashion. But is that on Diggs or is that on Cardi?
I don't think Cardi would play, but she wouldn't use her kid as a pawn. I know Cardi.
You think Diggs got his hair braided?
I think Diggs would do some petty shit. I think Cardi got, she wouldn't involve her child. I don't believe that.
That's cap.
No,
I don't think Cardi letting Diggs take them kids to go do nothing with them by they fucking self.
No. I think Diggs put his hair like that to fuck with Offset.
No. Diggs has been wearing his hair like that. That is more of a grown person's hairstyle, bro. Like, let's just fucking be real. Come on, like, listen to what you're saying.
Braided.
You're giving the ups on the hairstyle to a little kid over a celebrity football player that wears braids?
No, I think that's Wave. Wave usually, always got some fly shit going on. The Cardi B kids keep fly. One thing I got to say about them, they fly.
Man, I'm just saying, at the end of the day, I would hope Cardi stop playing the games with the kids. That's your father's kid's father. He gonna fuck around and crash out or start detaching from the kids. Men do that.
Okay, so why is the game playing Cardi B's music in the background of this? Told my Bodak Yellow. Is there something we should know?
7 years. If you go back to Game's Instagram 7 years ago, when Bodak Yellow came out, Game is in his car playing Bodak Yellow, saying this shit go. Shout out Cardi B. It's nothing new.
Does he know Cardi B like that?
He knows Cardi, but what I'm saying, when she first came out with that song, go to the Los Angeles Confidential page, scroll down, it's probably there, you can Google it. He was playing the song in the background, giving her a shout out then. So if did nobody complain about it then, why he complaining about it now? Maybe he on his Cardi B shit.
Yo, Wack, you good at spinning, man. Eric, I agree with you. You said, why the game involving himself in family business?
That's not family business. You remember that little black guy for like 8 months? It was him where he was tapping his temple and everybody would put a little saying, right?
Okay.
It's a meme. And now Game is about to turn this shit into a meme. You're going to start seeing it. Matter of fact, let me screenshot it now. What I look like when I hear you, Nick. Actually, you should post this up for Absol. How I'm posted after hearing Absol's diss song.
Yeah, but I'll be posting to make Absol feel a certain type of way. I know Offset gonna be like, man, why are you posting this nigga up knowing he playing with like he
so
playing
now
like,
because he's fucking Cardi, we can't post Stefon Diggs. So I guess we should boycott his football games too, right?
the nigga ain't that good no more. I ain't gonna lie. Yo, the best thing he is fucking bitches. Like he just been fucking all the rapper chicks. Yo,
I don't know.
I ain't gonna lie to you. There's a lot of y'all rappers need to team up with Offset to get this nigga out of here. Cause he done did the same to y'all. It's just that everybody don't know. I know. This nigga's devious. Whack. So you telling me some new niggas pop up and taking pictures like this, which and trying to be funny with one of your kids? You say you're gonna blame the mother of your kids rather than right? At some point you gotta check the nigga.
Yeah, if she got the kid's hair done like that, that's on her. It's not on him.
Okay, say he mirrors one of your kids' hairstyle. Like he want to almost show you like, yeah, that's my twin right there. Like he trying to be some Russell Wilson baby Future shit.
Maybe he said, yo, them motherfucking braids is hard. I'm gonna get my shit done like that.
Could you, whenever you get off the phone, just call Game and ask, where's the beef at least drop a diss song.
This is no beef, bro. This is just
that's beef.
Saying,
I'm telling you. I guarantee Offset hit him. I guarantee Offset hit him and be like, yo, nigga, you serious?
Offset not gonna hit Game and say no shit like that.
Nah, I guarantee you will. He gonna at least gotta at least check him. He gonna check him about that type of play.
For one, Offset is not gonna check Game. Let's just eliminate that. That's just not gonna happen. Right? That's impossible. There's no Offset checking Game. But here you go gaslighting some shit.
Nah, checking him to say, stay out my motherfucking business with my family.
Not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. Offset ain't gonna call, because at the end of the day, Offset know his problem is internal.
Okay, all right. Let's say it is Cardi's fault. How should Offset address this? Because you're saying if he pulls up on a dude and smacks him, he being tender, right?
No, he just putting himself in a bad situation.
So how should he handle his business? How would Whack 100 advise, not your client, but you advising a nigga who tells you, yo, you know my baby mom's playing with me like this? Look at what happened. Now she doing this on purpose. How would you advise that guy to handle it?